When I was in Ukraine last year, in Kiev, and also in Poltava actually, I noticed that they had hookah lounges there. Now I'm in Riga, and Riga was never a part of the Ottoman Empire, but somehow the idea of these water pipes, the hookahs, has spread all the way over here. I haven't tried them and I'm not planning to, but I think it's kind of fun that that part of culture has spread all the way over to Riga, Latvia. So this is a hookah lounge and a restaurant in Riga, a little outside of downtown. So that's what we're looking at right now. And it's morning, so it's closed. In Gogola Jela, in downtown Riga, it means Go-Go Street pretty much. You have a large Orthodox church. This is pretty much downtown Riga. I am heading for church, but I'm heading for a different church. I'm not sure what this church is called. Let's see if we can zoom in on it. So any one of you who can read Cyrillic letters can get the name. This street is where there's lots of traffic here. But anyone who can read Cyrillic or anyone who knows this part of Riga, let me know the details of this church. Okay, now I'm heading for my church, which is a Baptist church. I'm standing here by the National Library of Latvia in Riga. It's on the other side of the street from here. I'm waiting for the red man to become a green man. Apparently he did right now, so I better cross the street. So here is the outside of the National Library. I know it doesn't look very good. This is what it looks like. I'll go inside. I don't know if I'm allowed to film in there, but I'll go inside and have a look. I'm standing by the entrance to the National Library. So you can see the signage says "Welcome to the National Library of Latvia." I apologize for all the noise. It's a really heavily trafficked street here because this is pretty much where downtown Riga starts. Okay, I'm still on sort of the wrong side of the Daugava. It's really close to the city center and there's a lot of traffic here, including heavy traffic. So I'm sorry for all the noise. But here you can see it says "Welcome to the National Library of Latvia." It tells us about the opening hours, and it also states down below here that the entry is free. Well, to me it's obvious that the library doesn't have an entrance fee, but I guess they wanted to make sure everyone understood. And they have some kind of exhibition here, but all the information about that one is in Latvian, so I don't know what it says. The picture is kind of fun though. Let's go inside and see. Near the entrance of the National Library, they have like this kind of a room besides the entrance, I guess you could call it, where they have a timeline from 1919 when they founded the National Library of Latvia up until 2014 when they opened this specific building. As I said, I'm not that fond of what it looks like on the outside, but this is really interesting. I'm not going to go through all that's said in there. But I recommend you if you go to Riga, go to the National Library and have a look for yourself. The information is in Latvian and in English, so you'll be able to read what it says. But anyway, the National Library of Latvia was founded in 1919, and the current building was opened in August 2014. And I've been told it was an American-Latvian project to get this open. Apparently the architect was born in Latvia, but was a US citizen who lived in the United States. Here's the timeline. So, if you have the time, go and take a look. Oh, and you remember, I told you that there was a sign in Latvian about an exhibition. They didn't understand what it said. Well, I found out that specific exhibition, which is from the 29th of August until the 30th of November 2020, is called The Book Flood, The Nordics Meet the Baltics in Children's Books. So that's what that was about. I wasn't allowed to film inside of the library, sadly, so I didn't. They do have an exhibition on the first floor called The Book in Latvia, which is sort of an historical exhibition about books in history and their relationship with Latvia. So you can take a look at that, and then they have a lot of different exhibitions that are not permanent. They also have a souvenir shop or a gift shop and a cafe, but to go there during these times you have to kind of get a pass and yeah, you know, all the COVID restrictions. So this is what the other side of the street looks like. I just thought you'd like to see that. And let's slowly move over and show you a little more, because as I said, we're near downtown Riga, so I'm going to take a walk down to downtown Riga, and then maybe I will finish this off by going to one of the more modern neighborhoods. But let's go down to downtown Riga and take a look. So the city of Riga is divided by the river Daugava. I'm standing right by the river Daugava, and on the other side of the river we have the old town and the city center. So that's where we're heading. So this is the Daugava, and I believe you can take boats on the Daugava, like they take a boat to take like a river cruise or something like that. I think you can do that. I'm seeing a small boat coming in from afar, so I think that's a possibility. I haven't really explored it, but to me it seems like you could do that. But anyway, as you can see on the left, there's a bridge, so I'm going to walk across the bridge, or walk on the bridge to cross the Daugava and go to downtown, Old Town and downtown, and have a look. So let's go. And here is, of course, the flag of Latvia. As you can see, there are some ferries here in Riga. You used to be able to take a ferry between Riga and Stockholm. Right now that's not really possible due to COVID restrictions. Hopefully at some point you will be able to do so again. But you can still take ferries from Riga to Helsinki and from Riga to the Åland Islands, from what I've seen. To Stockholm right now you can't really do that, but hopefully you'll be able to do that in a not too distant future. Maybe you can when you're watching this, who knows. So this is the Daugava River from the bridge. This is what it looks like. So we're looking at Riga's old town. I guess you could call this the entrance to the old town. There's an old building here. I'm not really sure what it is, so I shouldn't say too much about it, but you have a building over there. There's a statue, as you can see. And well, I'm going to take a walk into Old Town. Here they are building a museum of the occupation of Latvia. So maybe next time I visit Latvia there will be a museum here. They are building it right now. Let's see, it says Museum of the Occupation of Latvia, and I'm looking forward for this museum to be finished so that we'll be able to take a look. So here we are in Ziepniekkalns in Riga's old town. As you can see, it's a pretty narrow street. It looks kind of old-fashioned in many ways, and of course this is where a lot of tourists usually end up. I don't know how many tourists there are around here right now, although Latvia has opened to a lot of countries, so there may be some tourists coming here. I know there are usually. So here we have the old town sort of from the other side. As you can see, there are lots of people here. Latvia had a lockdown for a while from March until June 2020, but it's all over now, and as you can see, there are people everywhere. As you can see, there's also a lot of green stuff, trees, vegetation in Riga, even here in downtown, and I think that's wonderful. So now I'm in downtown Riga. This is pretty much as downtown as it gets. On the other side of the street we have the train station. Let's take a look at it. I may go over there later, but I have something else to find first, but I'll show it to you. The train station is right on the other side of the street. So we may go there a little later, but I have some place to find first. I'm standing in Myrtle Street in downtown Riga, and being Scandinavian, sometimes I get a licorice craving, and Latvians don't really have licorice, but Flying Tiger Copenhagen, which is a Danish chain that has expanded all the way to Riga, they have licorice, so sometimes I go here to get my licorice fix. Also, I'd like to mention that Riga is the biggest city in the Baltic countries. The Baltic countries being Latvia, Estonia, and Lithuania. Riga is the biggest city, and also Riga was once a part of the Swedish Empire, and it was the second largest city in the Swedish Empire for a while. This is Marias Jela, meaning Mary Street in downtown Riga. It looks like they're digging up the street pretty much. I don't know why, but I guess there's something they're up to. As you can see, there's some traffic here too, although it's a lot less noisy. Also, if you want to get by in Riga and you don't want to go by bus or tram, you can go by taxi. I recommend Yandex. They have good prices. I also recommend you to check the price before you sit down in the cab, because they can charge you insane amounts. But Yandex, they have good prices. And I also like to mention that if you want to support my work, you know I love to travel, but right now I'm kind of stuck here in Riga, can't really go anywhere. For COVID reasons, but also for financial reasons, I'm kind of stuck here. So if you want to help out, you can support my work. Just choose one of the options in the box below. You can absolutely do that, and that will be much appreciated. Anyway, let's get back to this topic. Here is Mary Street, Marias Jela, and I'll follow the street for a while. Further down Mary Street, Marias Jela. Also, if you want to take a taxi, I recommend Bolt. They have an app. So Bolt and Yandex, those two are pretty safe when it comes to pricing here. The other ones, you never know. Ask them about the price before you sit down. But if you want to go by taxi, Bolt and Yandex, those are my recommendations. And as you can see on the right, there's a convenience store. It's called Narvesen. If you just want something small, a sandwich, a hot dog, a Coca-Cola, whatever, you can go there. They are everywhere. Okay, so I'm done with downtown Riga for today. There may be more videos coming out from downtown Riga, but now let's go to an interesting place called Ziepniekkalns. Okay, almost done with downtown Riga. I just found something. I don't really know Latvian. I understand the word here, but this pretty much needs to mean the Ukrainian school of some sort of Riga, don't it? If there is anyone watching this who understands Latvian, please let me know, because this is interesting. Because you know, the population of Riga is kind of mixed. You have the native-born Latvians, the Latvian speakers who are, well, ethnic Latvians. Then you have the Russian speakers who are sometimes Russians, but they can also be Belarusians and they can be Ukrainians. When Latvia was freed from the Soviet occupation, if my memory isn't failing me too much, it was pretty much 50-50 between Latvian and Russian speakers in Riga back then. Now, of course, the Latvian speakers are more than the Russian speakers when it comes to percentage. Some of the Russian speakers moved to Russia. Some of the children of Russian speakers started speaking Latvian because they married with the Latvians and stuff like that. But there are still a large part of the people here speaking Russian. And it seems like there's a Ukrainian school too. I didn't know that, so that's interesting. Well, anyway, I'm heading out to Ziepniekkalns, so that's where we're going. I almost forgot. I kind of promised you the train station, didn't I? Well, here's the train station. I'll go in and have a look, and then from there I will walk over to the bus station and take the bus out to Ziepniekkalns. So we're inside the train station. Here are the departures. Here are the arrivals. If I understand this sign correctly, you can get to St. Petersburg for 31 euros. I don't know how this works right now, if you're even able to get into Russia. I'm not sure about the restrictions right now. But it seems like under normal circumstances you'd be able to take a train from Riga to St. Petersburg. which could be interesting. Maybe I'll do that at some point, but that probably won't happen during this stay in Riga. And this is where I'm heading. I'm heading through the tunnel towards Gogol Street, because I know that from there I can take a bus to go to Ziepniekkalns. So that's what I'm going to do now. Walk through the tunnel over to Gogola Street, and on the other side of the street here we have Central Tirgus, the central market. I'm not going there right now because I really need to go to Ziepniekkalns and let you just have a little look at that. And but we'll have a look at Central Tirgus later. I'll make another video from Riga maybe next week or so, but anyway, this is Central Tirgus. We'll have a look at it later. Now we're heading to Ziepniekkalns. I'm waiting for the bus to Ziepniekkalns. Over here is Central Tirgus, the central market, where we'll go some other day. Over here, Satixmes Ministria, the Ministry of Transport, if I understand anything correct. So I wanted to end this video from Riga with a short view from Ziepniekkalns. I'll tell you the significance of this place. Ziepniekkalns is a neighborhood in the outskirts of Riga. It's not downtown. It takes maybe 20 minutes or 25 minutes with a bus to get here. And this is, you could call it more or less a Russian neighborhood. Because when the Soviet Union occupied Latvia and started moving people in from other parts of the Soviet Union, from Russia, from Belarus, and from other places, these people who were moved into Latvia needed a place somewhere to live. So they constructed this neighborhood, Ziepniekkalns. And still, of course, there are people here who speak Latvian as their first language and all of that. But a large part of the population in this part of Riga are Russian speakers as their mother tongue. So I just wanted to end this with a really quick look at this. You can see there's a store over there. There are some houses. It's the brutalist architecture, really. I was in one of those houses last year. I'm not now, but anyway, this is Ziepniekkalns, and this is it from Riga for now. I may do another video from Riga next week or in 2 weeks, but this is it for now. So thank you for watching. I would really appreciate any support for this channel, and go ahead and share this video on your social media. Tell your friends, tell your family, and if you aren't subscribed already, please do subscribe, hit the like button, do all of those good things.